What's up, YouTube? It's James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Monday. I'm doing pretty good myself. We back into the beginning of the week already. Be that as it is, I come across this particular story right here that comes out of Indianapolis, news station WRTV. Okay, they're saying people living in storage units. They're questioning it. Marion County Public Health Department is investigating. A couple had their storage unit broken into, which made them take a closer look at the facility. Wow, I guess things are getting so tight for a lot of people, or so bad or whatever, that they got to do what they got to do. But living in a storage unit, you're basically giving up the basic necessities of, living, like running water, the access to heat, access to being able to cook, all those kind of things. So this has got to be rough, But to get into the story here, happened in Indianapolis earlier this month. Brandy Chestnut and Stephen Taylor discovered their storage unit at Secure Care Self Storage had been broken into. It happened at the facility near East Street and Interstate 465. What alarmed the couple the most was the fact that they were never contacted, despite management knowing. Their unit had been screwed shut, an indicator of the break-in, according to the employee on site. It's been 2 weeks and nobody has called us to say, hey, would you like to switch units? Would like me to make sure your doors are secure. Nothing like that, Taylor said. Okay. Goes on to say here, now the couple has removed all but one thing from the unit, fearing the problem run deeper than storage units being ransacked and broken into. I've kind of been doing my own investigation. I've always thought somebody was staying here on premises. Every day I see the same vehicle. I see the same people, Taylor said. So I'm wondering if this is the vehicle in question. It says here, one of the cars Stephen Taylor says he always sees sitting at the Secure Self Storage near East Street and Interstate 465. So I guess this is the car they see, with the big 20s and whatever on it, or 22s, makes you wonder if you can afford these kind of wheels and stuff like that, on your car, then you should be able to afford a decent place to live, But be that as it is, some is fishy, okay? To continue, fed up with not getting answers from management, Taylor turned to the Marion County Public Health Department. He met with an inspector at the facility on Thursday. Taylor said he walked around the facility with the health department employee, showing them all the things he's noticed. A spokesperson confirmed to WRTV they're looking into the claims and will take further action if needed. For Taylor, answers leading to a resolution can't come soon enough. We talk about this all the time because until we get some answers, it's always on our mind. WRTV has reached out to local management along with NSA Brands, which oversees more than 850 storage facilities in 35 states. We have not heard back from them yet. Okay. WRTV also contacted housing advocates in the area. Their consensus. This situation is an indicator of the housing crisis Indianapolis is facing. Okay, so more than likely, when they say that, this country is facing a housing crisis because they're going up on rent, mortgage payments, and all that kind of stuff. In some places, it's worse than others. Okay, so some people may resort to doing things like what's suspected here in this particular article. To continue here, this month, the Fair Housing Center of Central Indiana released numbers that help explain why someone could be forced to live in a storage unit. Those stats are below. Housing advocates are hopeful the General Assembly will address this pressing problem. So it's actually happening. Now, to get into the stats here, it says, since the beginning of the pandemic, Marion County renters have paid on the average of $200 to $300 more per month, with rents having increased by more than 20%. Some areas of the county have seen rent increase around 30%. As rental costs have risen, wages have not kept pace. And they never do. You know what I mean? That's the whole problem, But to continue here, household income in Marion County has increased on average just 4 to 5% annually over the past few years. Despite the record high rent increase, landlords aren't having any trouble filling their units, with multifamily vacancies rates hovering around 6%, their lowest point in at least 20 years. Half of the renters in Marion County earn $35,000 or less annually, but only an estimated 35% of the county multifamily rental units are affordable to them. This disproportionately affects households of color. Here we go. There it is. While households of color represent 36% of all households, roughly half of the households earning less than $35K in income are Black and 13% are Hispanic. Families with 3 or more children face steep competition. There are less than 250 3 or 4 bedroom units with monthly rents less than $875 currently available in the county at the time of this report. Newly constructed multifamily units do not meet affordability needs compared to units built or renovated prior to 2019. The average asking rent for a new or renovated apartment is 20% to 30% higher, or about $300 a month. Okay, people make things higher than it has to be. That's just what it is, and a lot of it has something to do with greed. It's kind of like a domino effect, because whatever starts at the top trickles down to the bottom, and it affects everybody. But at the same time, it starts with greed. That's what I'll just put in there. To continue here, affordable housing is scarce in Central Indiana outside of Marion County. Of the 63K units affordable to a family earning less than $35K in income, 80% are in Marion County. In Marion County, investor activity has increased dramatically over the past decade. In 2012, less than 15% of residential single-family property purchases were by investors. But by 2021, 26% of residential property purchases were by investors. In 2020, 50% of Marion County renters were cost burdened, paying 30% or more of their income to rent. Nearly 25% of renters were severely cost burdened, paying more than 50% of their income to rent. For renters earning less than $35K annually, the share of rent burdened households increased from 78% to 87% over the past decade in Marion County. As of June this year, nearly 11% of households were not currently caught up on rent in Indiana. Okay, so yeah, they putting the screws to people. It's no good, you know what I'm saying? So people are basically doing what they feel like they need to do to survive. See, these people found some strange activities in the storage units. Somebody broke in, and they see a suspicious car around here on the day-to-day basis, whenever they come around there, yeah, more than likely somebody's living in there. Somebody's living there. As you can see in this picture right here, a bottle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, somebody's kicking back. Then you got shoes and all that kind of stuff. Wow. All I'm gonna say is this, if you got a decent place where you're living at, and you can afford it, don't go out on a limb to go and get something better, or some you figure that you may want, because a lot of times, the things you want you don't really need. You know what I'm saying? But if you got something going good for you, better off. If you can't do any better financially, stay where you are. In that way, you don't put yourself in a strain. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular article right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.